What the deal? Inqronicles, thank you for tuning in to Inqronicles. Brand new year, whole lot of new things going on. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This right here is my year. So anyway, I say that today's topic, well, let me tell you a quick story. So my man was telling me about how as a younger guy, he used to roam the streets of San Diego and the streets of Oceanside, and he used to break into cars and he used to rob people of their radios and things like that. And one time, before he did a robbery, he was actually walking the streets and a cop came up to him and said, "What are you doing out here?" Now let me bring it back a little bit. This was around the time gangs, red and white red and blue was a big thing out here as far as gang injunctions and all that, but the cops had locked that down. But there was a time where it was heavy. So what was going on was cops were stopping anybody, quote unquote anybody, and just asking them where they're going if they looked like they were gang members. So apparently he told me he had on some red, he's walking the streets, cop comes up to him, "What are you doing?" Now here's the part that was amazing to me. He says to me that when the cop pulled him over, or came up to him, he said, "What are you doing out here?" He said, "Minding my own business." Cop said, "Let me see some ID." He said, "Why?" The cop asked him what was his name. He said, "My name." Now here's the point. My man was white, okay? And what I want to know is, how come white people get away with stuff like that? Now one thing he said to me was that when the cop told him to go home, he told him, "I'm not going home. I'm not on my way home. I know my rights." That's what it was. And that is the center of this blog, or this point right here in Chronicles. Check this out. Why is it that white people, or I should say, in some cases, just people with money, or I should say it this way, everybody but black folks, how comes it seems like everybody mouths off to these cops? Now the cops have been beating us since they began. But why is it that white people know their rights and black people do not? I mean, white kids know their rights as early as whatever. And it seems like they get away with a lot more because that's what's portrayed and that's what we seem to think we know. But why is that? You know what I mean? Richard Pryor once said that, I think it was Richard Pryor, maybe it was Eddie Murphy, but it was a black comedian. He said, the reason why you guys know about cops and know them is because they're in your neighborhood. You grow up with Officer Billingsley. He lives in your neighborhood. You go to school with his kids. All right, well, I grew up and there was a black cop in my neighborhood. And boy, was he an asshole. And he used to mess with us for just playing football in the streets. We weren't even doing anything. He would just ride down the road, tell us to get out the street. Black cop. Now, that was his opportunity to try to school us and let us know what our rights was and all that. All he was trying to do was show off. And he wasn't like he had anybody with him. He was by himself. You know what I mean? So, that's something that always boggles me. And as you know with this, it's never really any organized thing. It's just me talking to you. You know what I'm saying? But that's a strong point. You know what I mean? Black folks, we don't know our rights. And if we do know our rights, we either don't use them, we don't exercise them. I don't know what it is. We need to wake up from that, especially in this day and time. All right? inqronicles@yahoo.com, inqronicles@yahoo.com. You can also catch me at inkyman.blogspot.com, my new blog that I started in December. Doing pretty well with that. Free music downloads on there. You can go on my past postings and download some of that. I'm a 90s hip hop man. I mean, I grew up on 80s hip hop and all that, but I'm a 90s man, golden era of hip hop. So you'll find some, Bismarck. You'll find, let me see, I put Slick Rick up in there. You'll find that. In the meantime, in between time, y'all stay safe. Happy 2010. Stay tuned. Continue to watch this. Stay up on my shows. Stay up on anything else. And if you got any comments, suggestions, I'm always open for that. And regardless of your comments and suggestions, this show ain't going nowhere.